guys, Jamie here, keeping it koi. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. I hope that I can earn your subscription today. So in today's video we're going to have a quick look at the fry and see how they're getting on. I've had them now for, I've had the reefers ones for about 2 weeks now, and obviously my own, I think they're up to about 8 weeks now. So I am going to get my little net. I'm going to get a good scoop of Daphnia and fly larvae, because this bucket is absolutely riddled with fly larvae and it will save them hatching and whatnot. Excuse the big dot on the end of my nose. But yeah, let me spin you around and show you the bucket. I don't know if you guys can quite see it there, but on the top there is absolutely thousands of fly larvae, absolutely thousands of them. And I noticed that this morning, so I've got my net ready to scoop. Let's see if we can get, oh look at that, nice big old batch of fly larvae. That'll feed some of the fry. I have actually already fed the fry a couple of times this morning, especially with these fly larvae. I've been scooping them out all morning, but mine are really good at hiding. Whenever I come to the bowl, they actually zoom around and find the nearest hiding spot. So apologies if I won't get any good shots. These guys do like to hide. I'll throw some of these worms in there in a minute, but these guys aren't shy. Into the reefers fry, and I'll set you guys down here. Let the wormies out and see what we can see. There's a couple of really nice ginning ones in there I've noticed today. Yeah, some of these are absolutely huge and some of them are absolutely tiny. There's a couple in here that's half the size of my fry, and a couple in here that's double the size of my fry, so it's definitely a good mix of sizes. But as you can see, we've still got a fair few kahakis, the odd lemon harawaki, lots of ogons, yamabukis, some demigoys, lots of wachubas, a few mitsubas, a bit of a mix between doits and ginning as well as normal scales, but absolutely cracking mix of koi. And a few asagis in there as well, if you saw that then. Yeah, they do like their fly larvae. It kills two birds with one stone, less flies in the garden, and they get a better source of food. So the Daphnia in the Japanese garden is doing absolutely brilliantly. Quick look at that. There is some fly larvae in here as well, but let's see if we can see some of the Daphnia. Again, I don't know if you guys can make it out there. There is absolutely millions of Daphnia in there. Just a little scoop, bit of mix of fly larvae and Daphnia. Let's give these ones to these fishies and see if we'll bring these guys out. Just started a new culture of Daphnia. So obviously I've got the culture in there in the little pond. I've got the culture from the first scoop that we just did, but that's mainly fly larvae at the moment. So I've started another culture over here because this bucket is stained green, so there's not an awful lot of Daphnia in here at the minute. I just put one scoop in here a couple of days ago. Yeah, there's again a few fly larvae, but there is a few Daphnia in there, but I'm not going to harvest any out of this one just yet, not until they are thriving. There's plenty of green in there, so there's loads for them to eat. And if they don't do very well in there, then I'm going to tip that water into that pond and into that bucket as part of their water changes, because that bucket is literally just rainwater and a bit of pond water, and it's staying green. So yeah, the fry are doing really well. I've still only lost the 2 out of my fry, so it was 41, now 39 in there. And the reefers fry that he delivered for me, again we don't really know how many. He estimated between 200 and 250, and we've only lost 5. One on the first night that we had them managed to jump up and land on this shelf here. Obviously the cover's stopping from completely jumping out, but as you can see there's a bit of a gap between the covers and the shelf, and yeah, one managed to get himself stuck up there all night, so he was a bit dead the next morning, and then 4 have died of natural causes, I suppose you'd say. But yeah, they don't seem to be any flicking or flashing or anything like that, so I'm not too worried about that at the minute. It is salted in there, only to about 0.3. Always have a bit of salt in when I buy new fry, but I'm sure if you've been following me for a while you'll know that. But yeah, they're doing absolutely blinding, and as you could see on the delivery video, there is a damn good mix in there. So yeah, there's a couple of breeds in there that I'm hoping we get a really nice one of to grace my pond as a forever fish, because I would like a nice either Bennygoy or orangey, because I don't have a plain orange one. I also would like a really nice Orchiba, and I know there's quite a few in there, because again I did have a really nice Orchiba, and he lost all his colour and turned into a Surigoi. So I do have one Orchiba in the main pond, but originally that was supposed to be a Chagoi. Yeah, it was supposed to be a Chagoi, and we changed from brown to grey and just kept a browny orange belly. We'll see if we can see him through the window. It's been raining a lot today, and they've been splashing something rotten because they've just been fed. But let me spin you around and we'll see if we can see any of them. Yeah, that one there was originally my really nice Orchiba, and as you can see he doesn't have a bit of brown left on him now, so he's now a Surigoi. Get your fat heads out of the way. You're looking for one in particular. There he is, just down there. Might come up to the window. Yeah, again looks like a Surigoi from the top, but he does have a brown and orange belly, if you can see that there. So theoretically he's still an Orchiba, but I want one with a nice pattern, so you never know, he might develop a bit more pattern. As I say, he was sold to me as a Chagoi originally from Adam Byers, but it's a real nice fish. I mean, the body shape, scalation pattern, and the growth. I mean, that is fry from Oakley, so hence he's growing really well. I mean, when I bought that, he was half the size as the Grow and Show fish, which is there because I got him on the same day. He was less than half the size, and he's now actually bigger. So yeah, growing very well. But then with a parent like Oakley, like 108 centimetres, or it was last year, might even be bigger this year. But yeah, got some crackers in there. There is a couple that will be moved on beginning of next season. Not many, but a couple. And yeah, as you can see, there really are some absolute crackers. There's my big girl, the big chag. She's certainly the longest fish in there. And when I measured her, she was 45. I would say she's probably a couple more centimetres bigger than that now. And then there's my fat girl, the Benny Kikikuru. If you was to get them out and weigh them, she'd definitely be the heaviest. But she's a few centimetres shorter than the Chagoy. And there's No Name. Ain't got a Scooby-Doo what that one is. Still kind of looks like a ballsed up Asagi. Sort of a grey speckly back. Don't like to be on camera, that one. Got a grey and speckly back, almost like a bluey grey, and some of the scales are almost black. So it's a toss-up. Some people say it's a really poor Asagi, other people say it's a really poor Goshki. We'll see. I very much doubt it's going to develop any more colour now. At one stage during her growth, she did develop a tiny bit of Benny on the side of her cheek, basically on her gill plate, and that was a real light orange, very similar to an Asagi, which is why I swayed more towards a poor Asagi, but it only lasted about a month before it disappeared again. So yeah, she had two little orange spots. They're doing really well. You might have seen my short the other week, and that was my birthday barbecue. Just cleaned out the barbecue today in between the rains. I've got to put the cover back on that in a minute, but this area is now finally, apart from all my fish food down there, finally fully tidy. And some new compost fertiliser ready to repot everything next year. Always better to buy end of season because you get good deals. So yeah, had all my Famalam round on the seats, just about fitted everybody in. I did have to run upstairs and grab a couple of the old deck chairs because there was a couple of them that didn't have a seat, including me. Guys, that's how the fry's doing. Obviously the fish in the main pond are doing uber fantastic. They went through their fluke treatment a few weeks back now, and I've re-scraped, and not a dicky bird, not a costia, not a fluke, not a trick, not a white spot, not a nothing. So really happy with them, and yeah, the fry hopefully will continue to grow. Now I know a lot of people have been talking about heating, whether they're going to be heating their fry ponds. I, for the first year, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to bring them inside and put them in the fish tank. I'm not going to be heating the vat. The 2 kilowatt heater is still plugged in line on the blue vat. It's still there. I could literally just plug it in, turn it on. But with the cost of everything at the minute, I mean, to run the main pond doesn't actually cost me that much, because the pump I bought obviously is way too big and powerful for the pond, and it's currently set to around 40 to 50%, and it's putting out about 80 watts at the minute. So that and the UV and the drum, and the air pump, and it's not even a kilowatt, nowhere near. Whereas if I plug in a 2 kilowatt heater, I mean, that's going to be churning out electricity. I mean, what are we looking at now? Over 50p per kilowatt per hour, aren't we? So I mean, that's going to be £1 an hour to run that thing. And if it gets a cold winter, that could be £24 a day. If it has to be on 24/7. Obviously no heat is on 24/7, but you know what I mean, if it's on the majority of the day, if it's really cold to keep the temperature, then that would become very, very expensive. So for the first year ever, I'm going to see how the fry grow without any heat. If we start getting really, really cold, then I'll put my fry from the little blue bowl in the big blue vat with the reefers fry. Didn't really want to mix them up, but because I wanted to see what the difference is between my own spawning and the reefers, but obviously being such a small body of water, I mean there's probably only 300 litres in there. I mean at the size they are now they're fine, but when they're about triple the size, when they're all 3 inches long, the water will, I mean they'd still cope in there with the filter I suppose, but it wouldn't be a lot of room, and plus if it gets really cold then wouldn't be very good in such a small body of water. So the blue vat is 2,000 litres, they do a lot better in there. If they do grow enough, I could always put them in the net that's on the main pond in here with these guys, and these guys are still finishing off their food I think, but yeah, these guys are doing really well. Some of them are growing ridiculously fast now. Got a couple of Sheros and whatnot in there that's almost big enough to go in the main pond. Let me spin you around, see if we can get a look. Yeah, you got that big white Shero there that's almost ready to go in the main pond, and another big white one to the left of the screen there. Yeah, so it's my Jinmin Asagi at the top there. He's getting pretty big as well. Yeah, it's that big one down there, almost ready to go in the main pond. And then the rest have all gone to the back, so the camera won't pick them up. Actually in the back corner down there. Yeah, to be honest, one of the tenchers finally started growing as well. There is only 2 tench in there now I believe, because when they were for sale some people did pick up some tench. But yeah, if I move out, if the big ones get big enough and I can move the big ones out and just let them swim free in this pond, then let's get that back up, then my little fry, if they're then big enough to join the not so big fishies that's in this net, that could also be a winner. Yeah. We will just have to see and take each day as it comes, see what the weather's doing, see how quick the fishies are growing. I mean all the ponds and vats at the minute are still sort of stable at around 17, 18, generally dropping to 17 at night and then going back up to 18 during the day. And that's all 3 ponds currently at the minute. But yeah, I'm not going to do a build this winter for the little pond down there like I thought I was going to do, because building that during the winter, it was great that it wasn't hot. It means I could, when I was free and not working, meant I could get an awful lot done. When it's absolutely roasting like it was this summer, you tend not to work as fast. But on the other hand, all the rain we kept getting and the pond wall collapses and blah de blah de blah, plus that one's going to be brick as well. Yeah, I've decided that I'm going to wait until the end of winter, maybe start it around January, February time, and that way it should be ready for the summer, ready for the next set of fry to go in. And that way I can remove all the vats and pumps and filters from down the back of the garden, get my patio back, and have that for the summer as well. Get the rest of the garden then tidy, and we should all be good. But yeah, I'm still haven't yet done the jump guards for the main pond. They're still, what I have built is still tucked behind there, just because time and not money. I've got the timber already anyway. It's just time and getting to do it, and weather. I probably could have done some of it today, but every 5 minutes it then starts raining again. So yeah, what can you do? Anyway, I'm just waffling. As I said, just a short one today. So thank you all for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll catch you all on the next one.